jib is just going nuts right now. He mentioned something earlier about a tear in his sail. Valhalla, come in. Valhalla. Valhalla, Valhalla, come in. The seas have picked up. Like we're getting just walls of water coming at us from the, oh my God, look at that, coming at us. Whoa. We are getting ready to make a jump from Georgetown to Rum Cay. Georgetown has all the provisions we need, and until we get to Turks and Caicos, I don't really know if we have much available. We also figured out the problem with our bimini leaking. Turned out that the boom had worn a hole in the top of the bimini. Today we're provisioning fuel, diesel and food and whatever else we need. We've moved the boat over here near town so that it's a shorter dinghy ride. Otherwise it's like a mile, mile and a half from where we were anchored. The problem today is that we need about 50 or 60 gallons of diesel. So we are jerry canning it. I have two 5-gallon jerry cans. We borrowed our friends Valhalla. They have two 5-gallons. So I'm transferring 20 gallons at a time, carry it up, fill it up, carry it back, and then pour it into the deck fills, which takes quite a while when you're doing it out of the jerry cans. I've also been warned that this diesel is kind of dirty, so we have to filter it, which kind of makes it twice as slow. And I need help.
I'm your assistant.
Yeah, Kelly's excited. Anyway, it's a grind and it's going to be a while, but we have until 3 o'clock today because that's when the mailboat comes in with fresh produce, and so we're not doing our grocery shopping until then anyway. So, Arthur, do you want to help us?
No, he wants to take a nap.
Are you ready, baby?
Name the movie.
Reese's Witherspoon.
Yes, what movie?
Cruel Intentions.
Yes.
It's a water separating fuel filter. I've actually never used it, haven't used it yet. This will be the first time. Little bucket to dump whatever ends up in here, because this can get clogged up and we got to dump it, continue filling. Oil and fuel absorbent pads. This could get messy with the wind and the jerry cans, and then obviously the key. I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's, that's water that's left over. 5 gallons of fuel. That's how much water was in there.
Is that a lot?
I feel like it's kind of a lot. It's like a 1/4 cup.
We are heading out today. Our friends are going to Turks and Caicos in 1 week, 7 days. So we are gonna make the run over there to see if we can make it. The weather is spotty as far as windows go. We're hoping we can make it in a week, just depends on weather.
It's pretty apparent people were waiting here for a window to keep going. It's just after sunrise and we got A whole parade of boats leaving Georgetown.
I wanna dance with somebody.
That's what your shirt says. Trying to catch dinner before we hit our anchorage. Kelly needs some fish. Come on. Come here. Come here.
Hey guys, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that button below. Now. Right now. Do it now.
Can't see shit. It's about 4:30 in the morning, and we are leaving Rum Cay. We got about a 10-hour sail today, 10 to 12 hours, and we're heading to the Crooked Islands.
I kept calling it Cook, but it's Crooked.
Yeah, Crooked. It's super dark, like pitch black, and it's not super bad. There's a handful of coral heads here, but we're just following our old course out of this
Pretty
anchorage.
deep, at least.
Yeah, it's deep. It's like 30 feet, but it's still really eerie trying to get out of this thing. When honestly, Kelly was at the front with the light, and we can't see anything anyway. It's just pitch black. So we're relying on our electronics, coffees, and I better pay attention to what I'm doing.
And Valhalla's behind us.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Under there.
Oh, you can see their running light right there. Alright. It's always an interesting wake up when the sun comes up, it starts to get light. You've been sailing in the dark for a while, and then you get to see what you're sailing in. There's some big waves out here today. We're riding them pretty nice, but there's forecasted 8 footers, and so I know we're seeing 10 plus out on some of these.
Like that one.
like that. That's a big dog. Sometimes it's more about how they hit us than the size of them. If we roll down it just right, it keels us over quite a bit.
Oh, mini heart attack.
Yeah. Sure. Baby, you look so pretty.
I do?
Yeah. Like about halfway there. Not bad for 10 a.m.
Oh, it's 10.
Yeah. Looking back on our friends, and it looks like they're having some issues. Their jib is just going nuts right now. We called them out on the radio, but it looks like, sounds like they're in the middle of dealing with something. I don't know if they lost their sheet or what, but that thing's just flapping.
Maybe the sheet came undone.
Maybe. We're only like 10-12 miles from our destination, and the seas have picked up like a mother. Like we're getting just walls of water coming at us from the port quarter, and I gotta think, these are above the bimini for sure. These gotta be 10 to, over 10, maybe even 15-foot waves, some of them. Our friends back there, looks like they dropped both of their sails, so he mentioned something earlier about having a tear in his sail at the reef point. Oh my god, look at that. They're coming at us. Oh my lord. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Hold on. Valhalla, come in. Valhalla. Valhalla, do you read me? Valhalla, Valhalla, come in. I thought for the last hour it was going to get a little gnarly, and it is. The forecast is pretty much dead on today. The thing is, like, you see the wave height and the period and all that on paper, and you don't really understand how that translates into what it really looks like and feels like. You don't think it's this. The reality of the situation, though, is that we're fine. We're actually pretty comfortable. There's a couple waves that really heel us over, but for the most part, we're okay. The problem is that if we had an issue, it becomes way more dangerous. Hope I didn't jinx us. I'm with you. You want to get out of this?
I want to get out of this.
Arthur wants to get out of there. When we left, I put 2 reefs in the, went down to my second reef on my main. I'm so happy I did, because I just wanted enough to give us a little control, and then we can control our speed with the jib. And so we have a full jib out right now, which is, I think, a little too much, but we're handling this okay. So I don't want to change or mess with anything. Well, hold on. I've got a flash of a mast back there. I see a mast.
No jib?
No jib, no sail on it. They gotta be getting their ass kicked right now. We get off, finally anchor, and the anchorage is still surging and rolling like a mother trucker. Here's the aftermath. Actually, not really. That stuff we set there. Cushions aren't a big deal. We actually did pretty good without too much crap, except for my toolbox fell out of here at one point and we had a yard sale. I could use a nap. Arthur, welcome to your new home.
I must try to figure it out alone. Yeah, I must try to figure it out alone.
On the next episode of Sailing Satori, our friends on Valhalla tell us their side of the story.
I had never been in seas that like got that big, that fast.
The rail's in the water. We need the reef.
I saw 15 to 20 foot waves.
And in the middle of this, you see like a 10-foot tear.
Yeah.
We help them fix their sail, and we figure out how on earth Arthur got out of the boat. How did you get out?
This scares the shit out of me.
Songs of worries.
Check it out on sailingsatori.life.